Well, it's that time of year again. Welcome to the Miami for Social Change Youth Film Festival. Sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, get your soft drinks, and snag a movie buddy, and enjoy the show!
Our city. All the people, all the things, all the places, all the art, all the Black art, all the art depicting Black people and made by Black artists. The art that fuels our city, that helps it keep moving forward. It introduces artistic complexity and unique creativity into the streets of New York. It allows people to experience new things visually, to create a sense of community and to help build communities, to bring life to places that people see every day. Black artists are able to tell a story, to engage and enlighten people through their work, to uplift those around them, to bring joy to the streets of this city. Their art allows them to share their voice, to positively impact people and communities. It helps our city thrive from these talented artists that change, that help, and that impact it every day.
Social media has changed drastically since I got into business. There was a time when, talking on the phone with your friends was like the extent. And maybe if one friend told another friend something that you said, then, it would be a big deal. But with social media, one friend tells 5,000. And so it magnifies the good, the bad, and the ugly.
How often do I find myself going on social media? Not often, because there's so many things going on and it's very toxic and I don't have the time for it.
I use social media 24 times a day.
I would say that I use social media once or twice a day.
Yes, I would say that social media has become overwhelming and overwhelmingly negative in the past few years. It's certainly taken a toll on my mental health. It's taken a toll on the mental health of my friends, not only because of bad news with the pandemic and other stuff that goes on, but also because of body image issues. Usually other people, they look like they're having so much fun and they look so healthy, so good, and you're here at home looking at them on social media, and that just makes you feel even worse.
So have celebrities changed the standards of life? I think celebrities are part of the reason the change is happening. A part of it is that people don't have limits on themselves. Too much of a good thing can still be bad. So you can still look at a celebrity's life and be oh, this person's motivational. I want to achieve that success for myself someday, and then go from there. But then you have people who's I want to be that person in every shape and form that I can possibly be.
Well, that's it, right. People want to be on their devices 24/7 so they don't miss anything. So nobody calls you or sends you a text, oh my God, did you see what Cardi just did? If you say, no, I didn't, it's what are you doing? How slow are you? boom, there you go. You were just minding your own business, and now you're like, wow, okay, maybe I should stay on it more.
I would say that the kids are probably more awkward around others, and they probably don't trust others as much to say, and people are more scared not to be caught in the wind, so people are paying more attention to their appearance and saying, and they rather become the bully than to become bullied.
Some steps that people can take to better themselves. I would say that if you don't think your addiction to social media is that bad, maybe you can first try going to your settings and putting app limits on your apps. Like after a certain amount of time on the app, like it turns itself off or it like locks you out.
Reflect on themselves, like get a planner, do something, go out, have a self-date.
If not that, then maybe you can start by taking a break from it, like maybe hide it from yourself and just don't go on it.
Try to love themselves and not worry about it. Like, don't care about what people say or what they think.
And then I would offer you to put the phone down. Find something that you're really good at, something that you do that other people go, wow, that's awesome. Or, make sure you spend as much and more time doing that than you are scrolling, looking at, and the things that are reinforcing that you're not great. Because you are.
Dia 8 de março, no ano de 2005, na cidade de São Paulo, no Brasil. E quando ele tinha mais ou menos 1 ano e 7 meses, o irmão dele, Felipe, nasceu e ele ficou com muitos ciúmes. Temos várias histórias muito engraçadas de família com crises de ciúmes do Guilherme com relação ao Felipe. Mas isso é para um outro vídeo. E quando ele tinha mais ou menos 2 anos de idade, nós nos mudamos para os Estados Unidos. E apesar dele ser tão novo, né, só 2 anos, ele já falava muito bem o português. E aqui nos Estados Unidos ele teve que aprender a falar inglês. O que ele aprendeu basicamente indo para a escola, que ele começou bem cedo, e também assistindo filmes e vídeos. Ele já naquela época era super apaixonado por vídeo. Ele adorava Cars, Chicken Little, Open Season e uma série de outros, mas esses eram os principais. Ele assistia quase todos os dias, várias vezes por dia, ele já sabia as falas de cor e ele realmente adorava. Ele passava feliz horas assistindo esses filmes todos. Aqui nos Estados Unidos, a gente viveu, então, desde que ele tinha 2 anos até agora, mas sempre que possível a gente voltou para o Brasil, de férias para visitar a família. Nós nunca conseguimos visitar outros lugares onde nós temos parentes, que são principalmente na Europa, em Portugal, na Alemanha, mas sempre que possível a gente foi para o Brasil. Então o Guilherme nunca esqueceu o português, até porque em casa nós só falamos português, mas hoje o inglês é a língua principal dele. Em 2019 ele entrou na M4SCYFF e foi quando no 10º ano, né, ele teve a oportunidade de conhecer o mundo da fotografia. E aí ele adorou e diz que hoje essa é a paixão dele, a vocação e o que ele quer fazer na vida.
My time with Urchining can be described in one word.
Phenomenal. It's a really great internship. I like it a lot. And I got some good friends who are in the internship too. I would say Urchining's approach to teaching is very educational. It's very thorough in what it teaches you, and the method that they use to teach really helps me retain a lot of the information that I learned. I'd also like to acknowledge the people who work for Urchining, as in Mr. Joey and Miss Khadijah. They are really great people, and they really help me feel motivated to do my work whenever they believe that I can do something. I started at Urchining this year at the beginning of the school year, and I'm hoping that I will be able to continue with Urchining for as long as I can, as I feel like this is a really great opportunity to keep on expanding my skills as a filmmaker. And I hope what I learned in Urchining will help me in the professional world.
My culture means to me family, elders, our language,
Inwenakton, hunting, Demiak, geese. Kukuna. Quack, frozen meat. Seal, nut dip. Look.
Mipko, Fifi, giant fish. Animals of our culture.
Muskak,
Dog shit. Nanok and polar bear. cabins.
English.
Drum dancing.
Dancing.
Hi, my name is Tanisha.
I'm Sophie.
And the song we're gonna be singing is The Competition. Up, 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 up,
Dear friend, it's going to be okay. You're in one of those states again, those familiar states. Your mind is spinning awake with buzz, and yet you have no words to show, no print on the paper, the assignment touched only with your eyes. You're distressed, but you shouldn't despair. You see, there's something likable about anxious procrastination. There's beauty in the mess. There's beauty in the vulnerability. Most especially, there's beauty in your fight to prove yourself and your reliability. Whether you fail spectacularly during a depressive episode, or you succeed beyond measure, you care to do a good job. And when you feel self-hatred, remember that we can't always see ourselves clearly. Your hesitance to go full throttle with one idea shows humility, thoughtfulness. A scattered brain is a creative brain. Value the nonlinear. Value yourself, your bare skin, your vulnerability, your determination, your engaged moments with life. That's what makes you you, not the end credits. And when you go for it, releasing indecision after sleepless nights, you should feel pride. But feel the pride throughout the journey, not just when you bow and wave. A or F, you are the same soul. Known or unknown, you are the same soul. Relax. You are an inexplicable pull.
You are spiritual. You are successful. Oh my gosh. You will balance on this tree branch.
But so far I've learned that she was not that woman when she realized her curves and her breasts could break
50 words you used to describe womanhood.
respect, responsibility, and love.
Being a woman is empowering.
Being a woman is phenomenal.
I had this teacher back when I was in high school, and the boys in my class were unruly. The boys in my class could do absolutely anything they wanted to do. And, you know, me being outspoken as I was as a young teenager, I used to be like, y'all can't do that, or like, or shut up, or, calling them out on their bull crap. I was the one that something was said to. I was the one that was sat down. I was the one that was told to be quiet. Boys will be boys, right? But when can girls be girls? People can be people. I guess that doesn't really apply to us. Because people hold women to this standard. I don't know, y'all. When did you first realize that you were beautiful?
I never did think I wasn't. I mean, I'm no raving beauty or nothing like that, but I've always thought I looked fine,
Right.
I didn't care what other people said, I dressed and did my hair the way I wanted to do it. I was pleasing myself, not them.
Right.
So if they didn't like it, that's their problem, not mine. Cause I look fine to me.
It's like your femininity starts from the first pink pair of socks or baby booties that your mother lies on your feet to the 5-inch heels that make men fall out of their seats.
Y'all want me to dance for y'all?
You are a woman. I am a woman. And from the first pretty pink bow that goes in your hair to your next sewing, this is womanhood. And ain't nothing easy about it, but I believe in the end, we're all gonna be okay. We'll be nothing short of great. Don't you love being a woman?
I'm still trying to define who she is, but so far I've learned that she was not that woman when she realized her curves and her breasts could break necks. She is more than her anatomy, so Adam, please, gaze at the beauty of Eve, but don't disregard her mind. She tries not to be offensive. Believe me, she's battled and prayed that maybe she could be more quiet. And then she'd seem more soft, more gentle, more woman to the man that doesn't understand why her words have to challenge him intellectually. Respectfully, if my ambition intimidates rather than initiates you to redeem the time, adding some savor to your salt and a little hustle to your grind, don't try to dim my shine because you decline the task the master assigned. Every human called according to his purpose. Standing next to her is like standing next to fire. Woman, I'm still trying to define who she is.
So Hot House's mission is to provide support and equitable education to children from refugee families living in Vickery Meadow. And part of that education is to help them combat poverty and we also provide them with social and emotional skills to help them become more effective citizens in their community.
Does that make sense? Why? All right. How much was it for 200 cups?
Texas is one of the states where refugee families first arrive, and so when they're being resettled from overseas. And so a lot of the children have been through very traumatic experiences, having to leave their home, going through the whole immigration process, and they've lost a lot of time. They've been out of school for so long. They're having to cope and learn a new way of life, being in the States, a new language, a new education system for them, and helping their parents manage life here, because a lot of their parents do not speak English, and so the children are having to interpret for them on almost everything. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Cost of the stand, cost
Plus.
of the stand, equipment, cost of the...
You go to regular school before you come here, right?
Yeah.
And are they different?
Yeah. In schools like has more people than our house. I like having less people.
Why?
It makes me feel comfortable.
Difference about it is it's big. Kind of scary because there's a lot of kids. It's scary that sometimes they might stare at you.
So yeah, SEL stands for Social Emotional Learning, and so through that, it's through a specific curriculum that we follow that focuses on the social skills and emotional skills that we want to encourage the kids to have.
I connect with the love and strength it brings. It helps me remember I can do hard things.
We want you to succeed because we believe in you.
You know, when you look in the mirror, know that this is you. No matter what anybody else tells you of yourself, this is always going to be you.
That everybody is kind to me in here and that they don't treat me wrong.
Do you feel like sometimes that's not always how it is?
Sometimes.
We want to make sure that they are welcomed wherever they go. And so Hard House, we ensure that we provide a safe space for them where they can be kids to begin with, where they can interact with other kids their own age, because they're not able to do that in the school environment or in their home. And also providing them the safe space is making sure we provide them with homework help, something to eat, and we want them to be sure that you are loved and you can achieve. You can achieve whatever dream you set out to, because if you put your mind to it, you definitely will be able to achieve it.
No bullies.
Do bullies make you sad?
Yeah,
Yeah. Why?
because they hurt me.
What are some things that you learned here?
Something like kindness.
I had like around 30 works, and that as soon as I come here, I get help if I have any trouble with the question I have in the 30 questions.
The moment you meet the kids, there was no way I could ever leave them. Just the thought of walking away from them right now is impossible. And they're just great kids. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Do you know what you want to be when you grow up?
Yes,
What do you want to be?
I want to be a doctor. I want to be a teacher. I want to be one of those people that help the world and that clean up the trash on the ocean.
They're just trying to fit into two different worlds, and it's a lot harder for them to try to fit into these two different worlds, and society just makes it a little bit harder by treating them as if they're, you know, just trying to fit into their cultural world.
Yeah, they're just like any other kid. You know, it just so happens they're refugee kids. So, they want to succeed. You know, they should not be judged by where they come from or by the color of their skin or, you know, their culture or anything. So.
And do you feel supported here?
I feel like exciting and happy.
When you're here? Is Hart House your favorite place?
Yeah.
In the whole world?
Sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost.
Now, to be honest, this is what homelessness looks like for a lot of people. Like, just sitting here waiting on somebody to pull up with some food.
From the age of, you know, being born to about 3, I lived with my mom. And, you know, I've never known my dad. He left before I was born, so my mom was doing it by herself. And she had a drug problem, and she wasn't doing too good. She ended up getting in contact with a group home in Waxahachie. I believe I was there for like 8, 9 years, you know. And that's simply because we had nowhere else to go. And so at that point, I effectively became homeless. I can't call my family because, you know, first of all, they're all the way in Houston. And even if I could call them, I wouldn't know if they'd even care. It's been so long since I've seen any of them. And I had literally spent an entire year trying to find a job. Like, and when I say trying to, I don't mean like filling out one job app. I meant like, I was going door to door, like walking on foot on the highway trying to find a job. I remember just feeling so down and so depressed about it that I slept underneath the closest bridge for 2 days. I was thinking to myself, man, screw it. If I'm gonna be freaking homeless, I might as well live like a cave troll. I was devastated. I was absolutely shattered. I felt like I was gonna be a bum the rest of my life. Like, I had zero hope. And I was trying to, you know, continue to hold in God. You know, I'm going through this storm. And in my head, I'm thinking, that's too shall pass, that's too shall pass. I want to give up, but I didn't, you know. I kept holding in God. I've never dug in a trash can for a meal. I've never sat there and asked somebody, you know, out front of a store, hey, you've got 50 cents, you got $1. I had to draw the line somewhere, and that was just to protect who I was and preserve who I was as a person. I never got into drugs and alcohol because I wanted a future for myself. I wanted a wife and a kid, and I knew that I wanted to be an example. I knew that with God's help, I wouldn't need those things. The reason I think that people on the streets that drink or do drugs in excess is because they're looking for release. They're looking for something to ease their pain, and they're tired of people refusing to look at them, and
So they're saying, I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. I'm gonna become the star of my own universe. And in order to do that, I gotta put the center on me. And so I need a help, I need an enabler. This feels better than sleeping on the concrete could. My last month of homelessness, I was staying in a tent. So this is one of the places that I used to stay. When I was homeless, I used to work up at Subway, and I used to go up to work every day, and I'd come home, and this was my home. I was at the stoop hop one morning, and I heard something about a choir. And when I first heard about it, you know, it got me excited because I was like, is it true? Is there a choir around here? Because being a choir, music is something I've always done since I was like, 8, 9. Specifically for homeless people, that brought a lot of joy to my life. And from the moment that I stepped into that room, I knew like I belonged there. Like I knew that like this was a place in which I didn't have to worry about the noise because we were making the noise, A homeless person looks like a rich person. Can you tell me who a rich person looks like? I mean, can you tell me who an intelligent person looks like, what they're supposed to look like? And it's because it's based off of circumstance. You can't paint a picture from someone's circumstances unless it's that person painting the picture. And don't worry about the thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about the thing, because every little thing.
Давайте мы будем брод преодолевать, а вы нас заснимете.
Що?
Мы вброд будем переплывать эту лужу, а вы нас снимите.
Давайте.
Шутка.
Просто я хотел спросить, а что с фотоаппаратом?
Кіно знімаю. Хочеш попасти в кіно?
Нет. Я просто спрашиваю.
А це що тебе за палиця така?
Смотря с какой стороны смотреть. Тадаима, о. Ну это типа заклинание.
Заклинання? Воно від чого?
Воно?
Так.
Ну, оно может быть, ну, то есть обращение к Вселенной.
А яке саме?
Гратио тебе на мир.
А що це означає?
Спросить что-то у Вселенной.
Ти щось всесвіту запитуєш, так?
Ну, я это не использую, но это меня защищает.
Ага, а від чого?
Ну, от всяких негод.
От темных сил.
Від темних сил у вас теж таке саме? В руках палиця якась?
Вот тебе корабль, его можно будет потопить, надо сначала запустить его издалека.
Гарного дня.
І тобі.
Вам удачі.
Дуже дякую.
Back home, you're standard. You're like everybody else. When you move to a different culture, then is when things change. At first, you still perceive yourself as standard, but then others start to highlight stuff that make you special or exotic. Most of these things don't have to do with who you are. They have to do with body traits or assumptions about your personality. And then is when the stereotypes begin.
Look at those jeans. They're so tight. She looks like a slut. She looks like a slut. Oh my God, look at that jacket. It's disgusting. Where did she get that shirt from? Somebody put some clothes on her. Look at her shoes. She looks like she belongs to a slut.
Curvy hips, large breasts, long legs, very sexual. I worked as a server for almost 3 years. We were working this big wedding, and a guest passed by, and then he said, "Oh, wait, where you guys are from?" And then we both were from Brazil. We are from Brazil. And then he said, "Can you speak something in Spanish?" Even though we don't speak Spanish, because in Brazil we speak Portuguese. And then she knew Spanish. She spoke a little bit. And then he said, "Oh, that's so lovely. That language is so hot. I really want to date a Latin woman." I understand my sexuality that I have, and I understand that part of that sexuality comes from the place I was born, but I didn't want to be seen as a sexual person because of the place I was born. I wanted to see as a sexual person because of me as an individual.
My name is Veronica Laudes. I was born and raised in Chile. 30 years ago, people in that town was very ignorant because it wasn't many Latino people or Latino public image. They catalogue every Latin person as a Mexican, and I'm not saying in a bad way, but most common was everybody who speaks Spanish was from Mexico. One of my first was in Oakville. I was in a party invited a friend of ours. They were all English speaking, and this guy came up to me, and this is the comment that he made. He said, "Oh, we have a pool table and a Latin woman. Let's have fun."
I was in college here in the US. A guy said things like about my butt, and he even touched my butt. Like, I didn't like that. I don't know how to explain that. It feels bad. I wasn't doing anything to be in that situation, you know. I just was walking by, and well, he said that we all Latin women had a really good body shape, and we all like to be touched like that.
Yes, I have felt sexualized before and fetishized, since not a lot of people knew, like a Latina, for example. There have been friends that, you know, had like Latin fever or some sort, and they would try to talk to me just based on my accent, first of all, because they were like, "Oh my God, she's a Latina, so she must be like, you know, like openly like sexually active." Somebody told me was the fact that I didn't look Latina because I had like a petite body frame, or like I look European, right? Because Latinas are supposed to be curvy and like, you know, like thicker in a sense. And that made me feel self-conscious about my body, because I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not living up to like the potential of what a Latina should look like. Back home, I felt like I was just a regular girl. Here, I felt like people brought attention to me more than I have ever had, just based on my ethnicity.
How did I feel when someone called me exotic and I understood the meaning of it? I felt dirty.
That's definitely not a compliment because it's like, why are you labeling me as like a fruit? Like, I'm not an exotic fruit, you know?
I have a friend who once was told that she wasn't Brazilian because she didn't have the ass big enough to be a Brazilian. Because I think a lot of people tend to believe that every Brazilian woman has the acoustic guitar body. So when you don't follow that, people tend to not believe that you were from the place you were from. Sometimes it even feels like if I'm not fitting in what people think that we should look like, I'm being less of a Latin woman because of that, and it's not a good feeling.
There's like a specific way they believe all Latinas look like. They kind of forgot that we are a mixed culture and a mixed race, so we come in a very variety of sizes.
What makes someone Latin? I feel like we're very fun and resilient.
When you do love, you love deeply. When you cry, you feel deeply the sadness. Like we feel every emotion very deeply.
Because I feel connected with a group of people because we have similar experiences, we have similar backgrounds.
I am Latina.
I am Latina.
And I'm Latina.
I'm Latina.
And I'm Latina.
I'm Latina.
I am Latina.
Soy Latina.
Where you from? I've been asked that question all my life. It's an innocent question, a great icebreaker. I looked at myself, my skin color, the way I dress, and the way I speak. I suppose I'm someone who needs to explain where I'm from because I'm an outsider. I was born in Japan, but spent much of my life living overseas growing up. When I was 9 years old, my family returned to Japan after living in Greece for 4 years. I experienced a major cultural shock. I didn't feel like I was Japanese. I wasn't sure what to do with my experience of living in Greece. On top of me feeling very awkward, my naturally curly hair made me look even less Japanese. I was bullied. I was born in Japan from Japanese parents, but I didn't quite fit in. At age 14, my family moved to Canada. I didn't speak the language and I didn't share the same culture. Back then, it was okay for people to bully and make fun of people who didn't speak perfect English. And it was normal for people to tell me, "Go home," to my face. It was okay to put my family as the last one to serve at the restaurant. It was okay to throw eggs at our car, and it was okay to blame East Asians for ruining the community and taking away the opportunity for non-Asians to attend college. Art gave me refuge. I didn't have to talk with my broken English, and everyone understood what I was trying to express. But being an artist wasn't quite encouraged by my Japanese culture. I left art. I felt lost. I ran away. I put away all my confusion, pain, and uncertainty. I moved to the US, got married, and tried to live my life unattached to my ethnic identity or race.
Police have not yet ruled this out as a hate crime. The killings come at a time when violence against Asian Americans is growing thanks to racist tropes surrounding the coronavirus. Overnight, thousands showed up at vigils across the country to mourn this loss of life.
I closed my eyes to my experiences with racism. I accepted it as just the way it is. I ignored the little tingle of pain I felt and acted as though everything was fine and normal. Eventually, art found me again. This time, I decided to pursue it seriously. Art gave me a sense of empowerment through creativity. I started to see myself and express myself clearly. This eventually led me to look within. I finally had the courage to face my pain, my ethnic identity, and racism. In this process, I finally found a home and accepted myself as a global citizen. I no longer needed to seek anyone's permission to belong anywhere. Home is not something that is assigned to us. We make our home where we want it and where our heart is.
Hey, this is Noriko. Oh my gosh, I haven't talked to you in a long time. Just wanted to let you know that I got home and some of the kids, they're doing great. And yeah, whenever you get a chance, let's catch up. We have to catch up because there's so many things I want to share with you. So give me a call or text me and let's set up a time. Looking forward to talking to you very soon. Bye-bye.